Good morning. Good morning. Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Good. Okay. Carrie came in. I was like, I go to the bathroom. I'm like, either that or run to the gas station.
How are you? They're so heavy. I'm good. How are you?
Good. These are so heavy. With Jason wanting us to talk today, I was like,
I know. I was sitting there last night. I was like, oh, like I feel like I need to make some notes or something. I did. I was like flipping back through all of my notes that I made from Ninja. I was like, I'll just like write down the stuff that stood out to me.
oh, look at you. I'm like, look here real quick.
Yeah. Prepare yourself.
Hey Felicia,
Yes.
blender downstairs. A blender.
Do we have a blender? Actually, I think we do. Give me a second.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How are
Good
y'all
morning.
this morning?
We do.
Oh, good, because mine is not charging.
We have a full size one. It's in the supply closet.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I can get it out after the meeting and help.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I don't like this waiting room stuff.
Hey, Felicia.
Yes.
Just a funny note that I noticed when Carrie asked you about the blender, you looked up and to the left. That's your recollection.
I know.
Only a new ninja would
Yep.
notice.
I've been looking at the way people react when I ask them questions now because of that.
It's handy.
Yeah. I usually mostly on my kids.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
My son's kind of a manipulator, so
Ah. Yep, it's handy. It's good stuff.
good morning, Stephanie. I don't know if you heard me. Good morning, Stephanie.
She's on me.
Good morning. Good morning, Shelby.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy to see you guys. It's going to be a good meeting. I love it when we have this many people show up. Thank you guys for being here. I'm grateful for you. Want to go over a couple of housekeeping things really quick. If you don't have your HR file completed, please do so. Please get that done quickly. It is very important that we have your information the way that we need it. We need your 1099 so we can report your income, and we need your safety information so we can report you missing if anything terrible were to happen. Yeah, God forbid, right? So get that done. It's very important that we have that, and make sure it happens, please. Other housekeeping, we are working on our Christmas party So hold tight. We'll get information out to you on that. And we are working on some other events as well that we'll inform you of. One of them being Pictures with Santa. So that's happening. I talked to Santa yesterday, and he is very willing to go ahead and do this. However, go ahead and mute your speaker if you're here, please. We are doing it completely through Zoom this year. So we want to give kids a chance to talk to Santa if they want to. And we are doing all of that via Zoom. And Santa will be available and let them in one at a time through a waiting room. So your kids, your clients' kids, whoever, he's going to take time with them and make it happen. So I'm excited about getting to provide that. I want to start off the meeting. Of course, we're going to be talking about all things Ninja today. And we're excited that we came back from a great conference. Before we dive into the people that were there, I'd like to do a quick interview with Zach Stanley. Zach, how long have you been licensed?
Probably about 2.5 months, maybe 3 months, around that
Okay.
area.
Okay. And when did you start tracking your Ninja activity?
Probably about 3 weeks ago. 2.5,
About
3 weeks ago.
Okay. And tell me what you do, what your routine is, and how you get up and make it happen. What's your method?
So I work a full-time job at TDS from 8 to 5, and I do real estate. And so I got to get up early. So 4, 5, 6 o'clock at the latest most days. Get in whatever I can real estate related before 8 o'clock. And then throughout my find ways to do things on my Ninja, calling people on the way from place to place, interactions with people, setting lunch meetings, doing my cards. And then after I get done with my workout around 5:30 after work, go home and finish out my day, even if it takes me till midnight. I mean, whatever it takes to get my daily activity done.
What's your first thing that you work on and do? What do you jump on first?
The first thing I do are my gratitudes. So before I roll out of my bed in the morning, I'll do my gratitudes, write my affirmations down. Exercise comes later in the day. I do my calls. I like calling people. That's my thing that I enjoy doing the best, and I do that first, but usually after my gratitudes, of course.
At 5 in the morning?
No, we're talking like 8 to throughout the day in between my meetings and stuff. A lot of my Ninja day happens probably after 5. A lot of the time.
What are you having what's the hardest thing for you to complete?
I was talking with Felicia yesterday. It was probably the cards, because I was trying to think of every person that had like impacted my childhood and writing a card like that. And Felicia was like, you can write a card to anybody. It can be a note to a friend or just saying hey to somebody. Or I was just trying to think of people that had impacted my childhood or something like that. And I was running out of names. So Felicia helped me a lot with that yesterday. I was finding a hard time finishing out my cards.
Cool. Have you written a card today?
I have not today.
I just had to ask.
Yeah, I got them right over here though.
I would recommend to all of you to carry a couple of cards with you everywhere. When they come to mind, it's really easy to get that done at the spur of the moment. And it doesn't have to be 2 a day. It can be 10 in one day and be done. So, if you don't want to carry cards with you, carry a notepad with you and jot somebody's name down and why you want to write the card to them, or put it in notes in your phone. Do something so you can keep that running list, because there's a reason they came to mind. I had somebody come to mind not long ago, and I wrote them a card, and they called me, and it was a man older than me, and he said that he hadn't gotten a card since his grandmother passed, and he was bawling. Yeah, so you never know why they're coming to mind, and it's important to kind of be ready for that and make that happen. So Zach, tell us what's in the 3 weeks that you've been doing your Ninja tracking. What's changed?
I have activity. Got things rolling. I almost kind of feel like a chicken with my head cut off right now because I've got so much stuff rolling. But I got a lot of. I finally just committed to doing the activity, and things started happening. I got three or four things rolling right now from just doing the activity.
Now, those 3 or 4 things that you're working on right now, did they come directly from that activity, or did anybody just reach out to you?
All of it came from doing the activity.
All of it, 100%.
As a result of putting in the work, all that was new stuff.
So you can see this as direct effort.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
None of it was like spontaneous. Oh, I saw you're in real estate. Let me reach out type thing.
Does anybody else have a question for Zach? Because he's seeing some pretty instant success. Well, I do. Is there anything that you haven't implemented that's on our tracking chart?
I can't think. I'm following it pretty religiously. The RERs have been great too.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me what's happened with that.
Every single person I can think of that owns a house, that has owned a house, I'm just saying, hey, I'm doing this for you, or it's done. It's already done. I'm meeting with you, or I'm going to leave it in your mailbox. And every single meeting so far has gone with, holy crap, I didn't know my house was worth that much. And it sparks something in their brain. And I've had things that I did 3 weeks ago, people are still pinging me now about real estate questions just from doing a real estate review.
That's fantastic. That's really good. What about your face-to-face meetings?
Face-to-face meetings have been really good. I like to do, I love to eat. So I do breakfast meetings and lunch meetings, and those have been really good. Found out, got a referral from a broker from doing a face-to-face meeting. Just really wanted to talk to him about, some life-to-life stuff. Wasn't even going to talk about real estate, and then it ended up, I have somebody that needs to move here before December 13th and he referred him to me because he just doesn't have the time. That came from a face-to-face meeting.
What do you want to see this daily activity? Okay, what I'm having a hard time asking, and I have to explain it first, is if you focus only on the tracking, you're not at the goal. The tracking needs to happen so that you accomplish where you want to be. Would you mind sharing with us where you want to be and what all this tracking is for?
Yeah. I want to be financially independent, and eventually be able to, do real estate full time. And so this tracking is part of building these relationships that will provide a life for me. So it's not just there. I'm not just doing it to track a number and say check mark, but it's more of the check marks are helping me build these relationships that will provide for me for the rest of my life. So that's my end goal.
Awesome. Does anybody else have a question for Zach that isn't related to his mustache? Now, Jeff wanted to ask about the stash and I shut him down. All right. Zach, thank you so much for sharing with us. I appreciate it.
I wanted
you.
to. I love watching Tina's face whenever Zach's talking because it just lights up so much and it makes me so happy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I agree with that completely. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with someone who is very, very familiar with the Ninja system. And we're going to talk to Michaela first. Michaela actually led book club on the Ninja selling system when we first opened. And we went through that book with her. And she's been knowledgeable and practicing Ninja for 3 years now. But this was her first chance to go to an installation. A lot of life happened, had a baby, lots of things. And honestly, there was a lot of struggle there too, wasn't there, Michaela?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of struggle.
So it took some time. And with that struggle in mind, do you remember what the saying that Jimmy D gave us was?
Of course I do. Don't quit before the magic happens.
Don't quit before the magic happens. That's
And
good
let me
stuff.
tell you, the magic is happening.
It is?
It is. It is.
Well-
This whole year, the magic has been happening.
Tell us
So-
about your year.
It started off rolling. 2 new constructions that I've been working on all last year rolled into more listings, more buyers, and just kept on snowballing all throughout this year. I think I'm going to get a slowdown, and because of the activity I've been doing, I had 2 things just fall in my lap. They actually asked me if I would do a discount brokerage or if I knew of anybody that would do that. I'm like, nope, but I'm here. I can be over there, tomorrow night and get it taken care of. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. So got that. Another thing that happened was I went to a listing interview earlier this summer, and I lost out on it because I wouldn't discount myself $2,200. The joke was on them though, because they got an agent to list it 4% less or 2% less than what I was doing, but they listed the house 10,000 under what I thought it was worth. And, they did have a little bit of a bidding war, and it sold a little bit higher than what they had it listed for. But they realized that I was worth that $2,200. And they would have made that up and more and had less headache. And I proved that because I sold the house right next door
Oh.
less than 3 weeks later
Oh.
for way more.
So you remember what Terry's response was, our Ninja instructor, when we're asked if we want to reduce our commission?
No.
No. And you nailed it.
Yeah.
So what
but
happened? Go ahead.
I did get that couple has sent me listings from their referral base.
Wow. So they used someone else, but they're referring you now.
Mhm.
Awesome. Good job, Michaela. Tell us what things that you learned at Ninja this past week that impacted you the most. What happened at Ninja this past week that is just you never want to forget?
Man, I mean, it was really cool hearing from Jimmy D. I really like the whole don't quit till the magic happens, because everybody's on their own journey. And I've always had in my head that I'm too young. That's why I don't have it going on. I don't have the college education. I don't you know, I got too many things holding me back. But I've pounded the pavement for 4 years, and this year is my 5th year, and it's happening. It's happening. So I am capable, and I can meet my goals. So what I'm taking away from it is, you know, to really make sure I'm implementing my tracking, making sure I'm doing my Ninja 9 every single morning, because that's the only way I can keep the magic going. I don't have a pumpkin that I can turn into a carriage, but I do have the Ninja 9 that I can make into the carriage to get me to where I want to be. And what's really cool is I set these goals for me 5 years ago to have this success in 5 years. It's happened. So now I've got goals for the next 5 years. It's happening. You got to stick with it and put in the hard work, and it is hard. But it's so worth it. So worth it.
Yeah.
And then when we did like our budgeting, what we wanted to budget for, and how much in savings, how much for investments, how much to rebuild me and my business. And it was a big number. It was a big number. But once you divided that out by 12, I realized I've done that a few times this year. That like blew my mind. Like,
Yeah.
how? So I'm not far off, and I don't know. I'm really excited for next year.
That's good. That's good. Would you recommend the agents that haven't gone to go, and would you go back?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
But I think it's very important to start implementing it now. Start now, because you can get the systems down, you can get a lot of it down. But if you go to Ninja, like we were all saying, like that's a lot of information. But every time we sat through the day, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much. And I was like, wait a second, we do that. Wait a second. That's how I do my listing presentations. Wait a second. I do it now. Then you go to Ninja, and some dots will connect for you. You'll feel totally overwhelmed, and then you'll start role playing. And you're like, wait, I already do this. And then there will be somebody next to you that said, no.
You missed
didn't
a
say
word.
that word right. Right. Be you. Their stuff is good, but what Jason has is a slimmed down version of it, and it accomplishes the same great task, and you can be a pro as soon as you get into Ninja.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Michaela. Anything else you want to add? No. Thank you so much. So much. Proud of you. Way to go. Travis,
Good morning.
how are you?
I'm back in the other saddle now.
Are you?
I did not want to go back to work today. I was really riding the high.
Yeah. What
That's for sure.
what was your favorite memorable thing about Ninja that you just never want to have leave you?
Well, other than the drive up back, a lot of memories there. But outside of that, the big thing for me was incremental change, like making the small changes now and will lead to bigger results later. And that's definitely something that I've implemented more, and I'm already starting to see results from that.
So if you have time to do 2 cards a day, but you don't have time to do Ford calls, what you're saying is don't throw the system away. Go ahead and do the 2 cards a day and start growing your business from there. Is that what you're saying?
Right. I mean, that's kind of what I was doing prior to going to the installation. Was I was as consistent as I could be at the time. And now that I've gone to Ninja, I can really see where the changes need to happen. And I've already started working on those changes, and right down to the time management block that they give you in the Ninja book. It's pretty cool stuff. So yeah, it's just the incremental change.
Do you mind telling us what your priority list is? What are you going to implement one at a time and see happen?
Well, for starters, sending out my note cards is on the top of my list. I don't get to really sit down each day and write out 2. So on Sundays, I'll go to the office and send out 10 just to get it knocked out for the week. And the other major step that I've taken is doing my affirmations in the morning and starting an early morning routine, because I have to be at work at 5:30. So I get up at 4. And like this morning, I did my gratitudes, affirmations, and then read Mastery, and then a little bit of a excerpt out of the Go Giver this morning.
Nice. Well done. I listened to Atomic Habits on the drive to Bentonville office this morning, and the chapter that I was on talked about not breaking the chain. And what they mean by that is your chain of habits. If you do something every day for what you're doing and wanting to accomplish, you're not breaking that chain of habits. It also said if you miss a day, that's something that is allowed. Missing 2 days is not allowed.
Yeah.
Everybody can have a bad day. Everybody can
Right.
have a bad day. But if you miss 2 days, you're creating a new habit.
Right.
We don't want to do that. So good stuff, Travis. What I know that you and Zach and many others work more than one job. After going to Ninja, do you have any clarity for those people that you can share that may help them know how to do what they need to do?
I think it's going to take that. It's going to take sitting down and just kind of having a little bit of quiet time to yourself and really focusing on what's important in your business. And if real estate full time is your priority, and I mean, I have to remind myself of this daily, is you really got to put your business on top of your current work. So I mean, it's not easy necessarily, but I mean, you just got to keep your eye on that prize of, hey, I'm gonna be doing better for my family a year from now, and this is where I want to be. So just really maintain your consistency and establish your good habits, and you'll get rewarded for it. So I've definitely been seeing it more and more.
Fantastic. The Ninja installation, you're glad you did it,
Oh man, yeah, absolutely.
and you'd do it again.
Oh, totally. I'd leave tomorrow if I could.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You have anything to add?
No, I not really. I mean, just it was an absolute blessing to me to be able to go, and I mean, I've just really been on fire about this. And I'm just gonna continue to make those little changes and just really continue to do better and strive for better. And yeah, I'm excited.
The next time any of the other agents see Travis, make sure to ask him about his video.
We're not gonna talk about that.
I appreciate you, buddy. I really do.
I appreciate everybody here for sure. It was a good trip.
Awesome. Let's talk to Jeff. Jeff, you want to come over here with me?
Yep.
We'll snuggle.
Yeah, let's snuggle.
So Jeff's here at the Bentonville office with me. And Jeff, you went to Ninja.
I did.
And very different than KW training, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
KW has good training.
They do.
And some of the things are similar. But I think that the way that that was taught made more sense to me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I took away the most, I think, was like the mindset stuff.
Mhm.
You know, like you can choose to be a player or a victim.
Tell me more about that.
So we're going to be faced with decisions all the time and situations that may be less than perfect. And we talked a lot about how we as humans, we have the choice of how to react. You can play the victim card or you could be a player. And I've thought a lot about that. It's easy to play the victim, and people probably wouldn't say, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
They probably would agree, but that's their mindset too. And really what sets you apart, not just in business, but in life, is how you react to these situations. So, you know, what I was thinking about today when I was driving in, I heard it was raining, you know, outside my window this morning. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm happy for the rain. What? We got a situation at the front door. She's playing the victim card. You know, I was happy for the rain because it didn't rain for 2 months.
Yeah.
And my grass looked like crap and my plants. And,
Mhm.
you know, I was like, you know what? I'm glad it's raining. I mean, I'm not glad that it's 39, but,
Yeah.
you know, I was happy for the rain. And that just kind of struck me as like, wow, that's just a different way to look at it, because now the dog's going to be all wet when I bring him in, and, you know, the carpets, and,
Yeah.
you know, there's going to be some situations that aren't stellar, but, you know, I think after going to that class, the thing that stuck with me the most was different things that they talked about that you control in your mind. And that's incremental change too. Like what Travis
Yeah.
was saying, is it's not, you know, you don't just wake up and, you know, your whole view of life is different, but, you know, each day, if you can look at things a little bit differently, maybe take an extra second.
Yeah.
And be like, wow, maybe this isn't horrible. Maybe
What's
this,
positive about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for business wise, the thing that I liked the most was the saying that we as realtors control the process and the
Mm.
clients control the decisions. Because I think I run into the problem of giving my opinion a lot, you know, and because they ask for it, because
Right.
they think you're the realtor, Jason,
What would you do?
what would you do? You're the pro.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to say, oh, well, no, these countertops and blah, blah, blah. But really, our job is just to manage the process of the transaction,
Mhm.
and then let them make the decisions. And then you can go to bed each night knowing that, you know, you served them right. And
Yeah.
you don't have to be worried about something that comes back under appraisal or, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that,
I went into a house. This was years ago, probably 10 years ago. The kitchen cabinets were painted bright orange. And I said, holy crap, those look terrible. And they said, we love them. That's why we wanted to see this house. And I thought, shut up. Jason,
Yeah.
you opened your big mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just make sure we get the paperwork done on time.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because some people, you know,
When
everybody's
you were
different.
when you were talking about mindset and about being a player or a victim, do you remember that the two things that they dialed in on that? I'll prompt you. One was that it's just good for your life. But the second one, they started talking about don't chase,
Attract.
attract.
Yeah.
And when we have a mindset of gratitude and of abundance and of player
Mhm.
instead of victim, who wants to work with a victim?
No other
Nobody.
victims.
Yeah.
Those are the people that sit around and complain.
Eeyores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Winnie the Pooh. You don't have children?
I do have children.
You watch more violent cartoons than that, though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So nobody wants to work with an Eeyore. Nobody wants to work with a victim. They want to work with somebody with a positive attitude. That's going to, even the victims want to work with somebody with a positive attitude. And that can be tough because you get all excited and you're happy to be working with them. And then they start pulling on you.
Mhm.
You know, gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that was a takeaway for you.
Yeah,
That's
no, that was
wonderful.
the biggest. And I would definitely, you know, if you're able to go, I would 100% say go for it. And I will go again.
That's awesome.
I'm going to base my next choice on location because that's very important.
I don't want to go back to Vegas.
No, not necessarily Vegas.
No, that was hard. That was hard.
Yeah,
I got real tired.
I don't feel right. Maybe it's because I've changed. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this is the new Jeff.
Charity, are you with us? Can you go over by Felicia? Hey.
Okay. Hello, guys.
Howdy. So tell us your biggest takeaway.
Well, one of the things that they talked about, they showed a picture of a roller coaster, and two people were riding next to each other on the roller coaster, and one had like the look of thrill, like their hands were in the air, whatever. They were super excited, and then the other person next to them is like eyes closed, like grimacing, like scared to death. And what their point was is that we both get to, both people experience the same thing, but we get to choose what our emotion and our reaction is going to be to whatever we're experiencing. Just like the people on the roller coaster, they both experienced that same experience, but they had two different outcomes. And we get to choose that outcome. We get to choose our emotions. We get to choose our reactions. And that kind of led into for me, just trying to be, and that was another thing that they said, was just being the best me that I can be today in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Am I being the best me I can be for, my clients, for myself, for my family, and I can choose that, knowing at the end of the day, that I've done the best that I can do. Because I do struggle with perfectionism. I know I've mentioned that several times on training, and they also talked about progress, not perfection. So all of those just kind of like really tied in for me and was a really big aha, moment for me.
That's wonderful. What are you wanting to implement that they talked about?
Well, for me, when I went in, I really needed some help with scheduling and what my day was really going to look like how that played out with, being, running kids to school and, all the things that I do as a mom as well, on top of, my real estate business. And so just that morning routine and just seeing how that lays out throughout our day, getting our day started. So definitely the morning routine, I've already started working on that. And I just feel good when I get that first thing and get my day started that way. So that was huge for me.
That's good. That's fantastic. I know we've all got plenty of distractions. There's plenty of things that can pull us one way or the other. And if we treat this as a priority, then it gets done. It's interesting to me, and this isn't a jab. This is actually, it's interesting to me that if we have a place that we have to be to meet a client, to meet an inspector, we schedule that, we go to it. To get a chance at a listing, we schedule that, we go to it, we have the listing appointment, but we have a hard time scheduling our Ninja 9.
Right.
And the importance of that is so high, because without that, we don't get the listing appointments, we don't get the buyer meetings. We have to work on our business before we're in our business. And if you do that, you'll have business. And it's just, it really is just this mindset thing and this epiphany that needs to happen somehow, that I have to do this. This is my job and I have to do this. And the other parts, the meeting with the people, the listing appointments and buyer appointments, honestly, a lot of times they don't even feel like work because they're fun. So that the 1 to 2 hours doing that Ninja 9, that's the work. That's the job part. And we need to schedule it. We need to.
Well, and it helped.
Charity,
I'm sorry, I was
Go
gonna say,
ahead.
it helped me to see how it all went together. You know, all of these
Mhm.
pieces, you know, I've heard them and you've done a great job in training us in those, but it really helped me to see how they all really fit together and how, you know, you stay in flow to get the appointment, you know, and all of the things that you've said, it really just made sense this week.
Would you go back?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. This is something that I haven't asked anybody else. What do you want to learn more about?
Oh, wow.
Do you want to get back to me on that one another time?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, wow. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a lifelong learner. That's just who I am. That's just part of me, being an educator. And so I'm always wanting to learn. And that's how I look at every opportunity, you know, even yesterday, trying to write up a contract, you know, had to call a lender because I wasn't exactly sure, you know, what that needed to look like to help my client, you know, and I just told the lender, thank you so much. You know, just talking to you, I'm always trying to learn. And so just, you know, just daily.
That's awesome. It's awesome. Felicia, you're coming at this from a different angle. You went to Ninja with us this time, and you are our lead support staff, and needed to understand Ninja so that you could support the agents the way that we need to be supported. And I think you really enjoyed that. Tell me your biggest takeaway.
So for me, I guess I see things different because I see clients as the agents, because I want to make sure that I'm making all the agents happy and I'm creating value in myself to help the agents so that they feel more comfortable coming to me for anything that they might need. The mindset was huge. I cried I cried more in this Ninja experience than I think I have in a really long time. I connected so much to everything that they had to say. I took more notes than I can keep up with at this point, but I learned your mindset determines your success. If you're thinking that you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't try and you don't tell yourself that you're going to succeed and you're going to be successful. The Ninja routine: show up in the morning, work on your business, in the afternoon, work in your business. I thought that was really good. Just like Charity said, I hear a lot of people come in and say, I just don't know how to schedule everything. I don't know how to get into a routine of when to work and when to not work. And I feel like I'm constantly working. I feel like I don't have time to do anything. But if you're going in and you're sitting all day working, really, you're not getting as much done as you think you are. But if you set time limits to get things done, then you feel more apt to get it done right then, and you're not working on that all day and exhausting yourself and getting worn out on the same thing.
It's easy to be busy. It's hard to be productive.
Exactly.
You can be busy on accident, and you've got to be on purpose to be productive.
Yes, and it's easier. What it was the quote that she said? It's easier to be it's easier to be an on-purpose realtor than an on-accident realtor.
Now, they gave numbers with that. This was a quote from an agent who implemented Ninja, and she said it's easier to make, and I think it was like $1 million as an on-purpose agent than 200,000
Yes,
as an on-accident.
I wrote it down, but
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. I thought that was
Right.
amazing because I feel like
That's
I feel like some people just kind of expect to be able to sit back and just let things come to them because they say I'm a realtor, post a few things on social media and expect people to just come to you because they know you. But if you're not creating value in yourself and you're not making yourself important to them, then you're not going to be top of mind to that person whenever they actually do need a real estate agent. Just because you're friends doesn't mean they're going to choose you. So I thought that was really important. And the don't quit before the magic happens was one of my favorite, and Jimmy D, of course. But then another thing that stood out to me was your non-conscious mind. It believes what it's told repeatedly, and it cannot differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined or felt. So those affirmations are real.
Mm-hmm. Writing those affirmations is a big deal. It's a big deal. You're not tricking your mind, you're training it. It's a big deal. Big. So would you go back, Felicia?
Every time I have the chance.
Every time. Your next chance is going to be leadership. They do a leadership seminar in February, and that's going to help with how to run an office and recruiting and such. And then we'll get Stephanie into an installation so she can feel all of this magic and catch the energy. So what I want to spotlight right now that was talked about, and what I think is really, really important is every time I talked to any of these agents and we pulled them on the screen and visited, every single one of them, every single one, they didn't talk about skill set. Michaela touched on it. And she was like, yeah, we went over the seller process and the buyer process, and we read the script, and I missed a word, and my neighbor got grumpy with me. But then she said, but Jason's skill set, I like it better. It's smoother. It's, what did they talk about? They talked about mindset. And that's why I go back every year, is because that mindset training is really invaluable. Really, 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 really invaluable.
I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah. We know how to write a contract. We know how to get through a buyer interview and a seller interview to make that happen. What we don't know how to do is to wake up and be somebody that we aren't right now. And to do that on purpose and have that kind of training, that's absolutely invaluable. And guys, I don't care who you are. We've got people in our offices right now. We've got people who's they're perfectly happy and content with their personal life and want to push their professional life and be somebody else in their professional life than they are. We've got people who are perfectly content in their professional life and their personal life's in shambles. And they want to be somebody that they're not right now. Nobody wants to be in either of those positions. We've got people that are doing poorly in both. We've got people that are doing good in both, that are smart enough to say, why wouldn't I want to do better? Or I'd really like to maintain this. What's the easiest way to maintain this? So we've all got stuff. We've all got it. We've got people that have been through hell and back. We've had people that have had a good childhood and raised okay and everything's fine. But we all want something either sustainable or better. And that's what this program's about. That's what this program's about, is keeping you on that right track. And guys, for me, honestly, The time that it took me to get back to Ninja this time because of COVID, it hurt me. Oh, I was struggling because I needed that mindset training and I needed to get back to it. I asked Terry to sign my book, and at the beginning of the seminar of the installation, she asked me. She said, "How many have you been to?" And I was like, "I don't even know. I've got to figure it out." It was my 5th one, is what I figured out. But I've been to 3 of the leadership sessions, and they've only had 3. That's a newer program for them. But this was my 5th installation, and she said, "Jason, I know you're coming for the mindset, and the skill set isn't something that you struggle with. However, the skill set with buyers and sellers, I know you don't need that, but I want you to think about what you need as far as attracting business." And we got done, and I came back up to her and I said, "You know what? I've attracted the business that I want to maintain. I have gotten to my own personal production where I don't want more. That can level off." And she looked me dead in the eye and said, "You're wrong. You're wrong." And I said, I trust you, because I do. She's a wonderful mentor. She's amazing. I trust you, but I want clarity on that, because that doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to work more. And she said, "You don't have to. That's the thing. You don't have to work more." We sat down, we went over my daily activity. She's a good friend. She's a really good friend. And she didn't tell me. She didn't tell me anything. She wrote in my book when she signed my book. And she said the key, I think if I remember right, she said the key is on page 114. And anybody got their Ninja book handy? Anyone? Felicia does. Let's see if I got the page number right. Open it up. And I'm gonna you're unmuted. Okay.
The Power of the 8 and 8.
The Power of the 8 and 8. So what I want to offer is I want to offer a workshop where step number 1, the 8 and 8 will not be successful if you don't have a living database. If you don't have a living database, the 8 and 8 doesn't matter.
What does living mean to you?
Living to me means that you review it and change it as needed. And you're working your database. If you don't review your database, it will not help you. If you just leave it stagnant and throw people on that you meet and get information on somehow, that database will begin to stagnate and it won't produce what you want it to. So what I want to do is I want to offer a weekly workshop, not a meeting, a workshop. And we can meet on Zoom, we can meet in person. It's up to you. But this weekly workshop is going to be creating our database for the Ninja 9 purpose and to begin an 8 and 8. And if you want to commit to that, there is a cost. The cost isn't my training. The cost is postage. That's the cost. If you want to participate in the workshop and not do the 8 and 8, but create your database, I'm fine with that. I know that some people don't have the funds to create that 8 and 8. I'm fine with that. What we're going to do is we're going to create our database together by downloading our contacts in our phone and downloading our contacts in Facebook. We're going to have 2 running spreadsheets. One is going to be all of those contacts and their information in a big jumbled mess. The other one is who we're actually going to put on there. Okay. We're going to rate those 1, 2s, and 3s. Our 1s are our favorites. They're our raving fans. Our 2s are pretty good. Our 3s are people that we'd say hello to and we can talk to, but and not feel weird about calling, but aren't that close to them. We're going to know how to keep up with our database. We're going to keep it together. And then here's the charge. This takes time. Yes, I'm putting time into it so that we can all get back from that, because yes, I get a split of the commission. I'm investing in you guys. But 2, I want you guys to, if you decide to do this, I want you to be willing to help someone else later to create their database and to be a coach and an encouragement to them. And I'll tell you why. 1, giving back is wonderful. That's being a player, not a victim. This is free information to you because this is going to help your life and I care. But 2, when you coach somebody, you learn. You will get better if you help someone do this. You absolutely will. For over 10 years, I trained agents at another brokerage for nothing. I got travel paid when I went to other states for them, but for over 10 years with the other brokerage, I did not get paid to coach, and I did it anyway because I knew it made me better. I knew it did. So be willing, and you don't have to sign up or anything like that. But we're going to work on our database together. When we meet, everything that I do, you'll be able to follow right along on your computers. And I am going to recreate mine in front of you while you recreate yours. That doesn't mean that I'm not still using my current database. That means that I'm showing you, and I'll probably switch over after a point in time because I'll like the new one better. When you recreate, it improves. So be ready, and we will get together. Shelby Finch, we're going to have to train you on what the 8 and 8 does. I believe you've already done this. Is that right?
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay. Yeah. So you're familiar, and the agents that have been trained in the Ninja way, you know what the 8 and 8 is. The ones that haven't, get ready because it's powerful. It works. And if Terry straight up says this is the key, then we want to do that. Who else here, speak up, who else here has been through one of Terry's trainings instead of Dawn? Anyone? Evan. Okay, Evan, go ahead and unmute you. There we go. What do you think of Terry? You're about 1.5 years past meeting her.
Yeah, she's awesome, and her whole story and everything about her is awesome. She really does care. It's been cool to hear all the refreshers. I'm excited about the energy that we've got going on here because it has been, a little over 1 year since I was Kansas City last September, I think. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm glad you can feel the energy. We're going to make this happen. Let's go through quickly. We're running way out of time. Felicia, favorite thing today?
I loved hearing all the agents review what their favorite things about Ninja were.
Awesome. Maggie, favorite thing today? She's in her bathroom at the hotel. Chelsea, Charity, favorite thing today?
Just being reminded of everything because there was a lot of information, and so hearing everybody's takeaways. But we control the process, and our clients control the decisions.
Fantastic. Maggie.
Well, there was a lot here to unpack. What was my favorite part? Just the database part of it. And, I have a database, but I'm not doing anything with it right now. And, a lot of that has to do with my transition from Keller Williams, and now, my expansion into Atlanta. My dad's passing and my divorce, and, it's, I've got a lot of things going on in my life right now, but, once I kind of get everything, all the dust settles, I got to hit it again and get my folks, just get back on it and stay in touch with my people.
Maggie, you're important to us, and we're going to help you be a player.
Thanks.
You are. Yeah. Yeah. Travie, he loves it when I call him Travie.
Yeah, I was called a lot of things.
Favorite thing today?
Well, naturally, it was great to hear from everybody and their takeaways from last week. I'm looking forward to doing the 8 and 8. That's definitely something that's on my list. So I look forward to that. And then and I have a database, and I work on it. I mean, probably weekly, but I do look forward to that workshop and rebuilding on it. So that'll be nice.
Awesome. Zach Stanley.
I would say I really like Michaela's success story. I like to hear that. And then play the victim or be a player, I wrote down today. That was my favorite thing. Everyone's got excuses, but what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I'm going to turn this around here.
Hey, everybody. I really liked all the mindset stuff, like especially what you and Charity said about the be a victim or be the player. I like all that. And then I love how motivated everybody is right now, too. Hopefully you guys are busy to keep me busy.
There we go. Jeff.
I liked Zach's story of success. He'll be able to quit that other job soon if he wants.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Willa.
For me, it's the workshop. Very excited about this.
Good.
Which ties into the other don't chase, attract. I feel like with a lot of my database, these people know me deeply. And so because they know my personality so well, I almost feel like I present as I'm chasing. So I really want to understand more about, for example, I don't call people. So to put that into my daily routine feels chasing to me. So I'm just definitely interested in learning more about that and how to come across a little bit differently. So yeah, I'm excited.
Love it. Love it. Let's go to Tina.
Well, of course, the part I liked the best was listening to my son. I've watched him, and I've watched
emoji right now.
I've watched him work hard, and I've watched him implement, some things being so new, and he's just really doing a great job. And he's working the system, and that's something he does very well. I've watched him. I know his personality, and if you tell him, the system, what the system is, he'll work it.
Nice. He really is that way. When I've said do this, he's like, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys have done a great job with him. You really have.
Thank you. Thanks.
Evan. You got to unmute, Evan.
Hearing everybody's success has been awesome. I'm looking forward to the workshop because I'm sitting here looking at one monitor, and I've got a monitor over here that has a really screwed up database on it. It's got a lot of info, but I'm not sure how much of it's good. And so looking forward to doing that. And yeah, but excited about the energy overall.
Fantastic. Kyle.
So it was really good to hear everybody's different perspectives on Ninja, how they work their system. And I know a lot of you have already said it, but the whole concept of, whether you're going to be a victim or a player, I know, Jason, you touched on this, having to try to bounce back from everything that's happened in 2020 with COVID. I know for our family, a lot has happened. I actually don't work another full-time job right now, which is kind of a struggle, but I even have to daily kind of tell myself, hey, keep going, because at the end of the day, and I've always been this kind of person, so being the victim player has not really been a struggle thing for me, but at the end of the day, it's harder to everybody's heard the saying, it's harder to frown and it takes more energy to frown and be in a bad mood than it is to be in a good one. So definitely easier to be the player than the victim. Also really excited about the workshop. The database and doing my forward calls is honestly the hardest part for me. So that definitely will be a help for me. So
Awesome. Carrie.
My favorite part is the excitement and the vibrations that come back to the office when everybody has been to a Ninja installation. And I was doing Ninja work for 3 years before I was able to go to an installation. So like you said, you can put these things into practice before you go. Like I think Michaela said that, and work on those. But when you go, it's like seeing everything in color after you've been doing black and white. You do the thing and you do the process and you follow it, but it just becomes amazingly connected, and there's so much more information at the installation. But the vibrations are going to be amazing. We have almost 50% of our agents now are ninjas, and it's only going to get better. And I think that is going to put our agency way above the competition.
I agree. You reminded me of something. They interviewed me at the installation for a video that they're making for advertising, and I told them, Carrie, that it's like seeing a photograph of the Grand Canyon in a frame versus going to the Grand Canyon.
Real life.
Yeah, and the artist, and this is me with you guys, the artist is trying to get you to remember what it was like to be at the Grand Canyon. He's not trying to say, isn't this picture it? It's not it. The experience of being at the Grand Canyon was the fullness and was it. Going to the installation, you get that full view of everything, and it makes a difference. I can only bring you a photo versus a 4-day installation. It's different. It's different. Tina, we already did you. Never mind. Justin.
Hey, good morning. Man, that player versus victim thing, that got me good. So we're gonna start doing that stuff. And Kyle, keep going, man. You're doing a good job. Just wanted to throw that out there. Jason, glad you're back, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Made it out of Sin City alive. Allison.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I think my favorite thing was hearing about Michaela's journey and the way that just her arc of success has gone, and how, she, I love the quote that or the same quote that she loves, which is, don't quit before the magic happens. I say that to myself pretty much every day, several times a day, to keep myself motivated and, taking those steps that we're supposed to take. And so, yeah, that would probably be my favorite part.
Awesome. Shelby.
I just love you guys coming back with such high energy and ready to work and put me to work. I'm really excited. I've had so many of you guys message me and be like, okay, I'm ready to send postcards. I'm like, yes, finally. It's taken you guys years, but I'm ready. I also really loved, can't remember who said it. I think Jason said it, about it's so easy to stay busy, but it's so hard to be productive, because I feel like I am busy all day, every day, and just making sure that I'm making that time and being really, truly productive with not just my work, but in all aspects of life. I think it's just so important. But I'm pumped up for you guys. I can tell you guys are on fire. I'm ready to get you guys going. I'm ready to do this. I'm so excited for y'all. So
Love it. Love it. Stuart.
A lot of things, so many things. I've been a sponge this whole past hour. I think receiving the energy that everybody's bringing back, and coupling that with a lot of things I've already been thinking, things I talked to you about, realizing that a lot of what's holding me back is fear of, previous failure, been on the phones before. And so I'm carrying a lot of that over from my past in insurance and KW, and realizing that, the world is abundant and success leaves clues. And the successful people say that if you work the system does work for you. I look back at everything that's happened since I've been in real estate, and all of my success has come to me. It's attracted it somehow, yet I continue to live in that fear of making my calls and reaching out to people and being, creating relationships and value. And so I think it's kind of an encouragement to hear everybody that if I do these things, if I work the system will work for me.
I love it. I love it. Keith.
So I couldn't figure out how to say, it's been a lot, but what Carrie said, the vibration, that's exactly what the feeling that came back. But I think the thing I got the most out of it was looking at your face, Jason, and seeing how much it meant to you to go. I can really tell the difference in how you, so that reminds me, Terry's awesome, and I need to get back out there. So
yeah,
thanks for bringing this all back and doing this.
You're welcome, sir. It makes a difference. It really does. It's an injection of goodness is what it is. It's a syringe in my arm every time. It really is. So I want to teach just one quick 1 minute about frequency. When Carrie was talking about the vibrations, they're talking about in Ninja, they talk about two guitars that are facing each other that are perfectly tuned. If you pluck the string on one guitar, one string, that same string on the other guitar will vibrate in response. And that's what we do. If we give out a vibe of player, if we give out a frequency of player, we begin to attract and make things happen. So that's what they're talking about. Now, what they're also talking about is we've come home with this energy that was starting to lack because we needed the shot in the arm. And now the whole office is starting to feel this, and it makes a difference. And I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for the ones that went, that they invested in themselves. I'm grateful for the ones that have gone in the past because their response is quicker because they've been trained in it. And I'm even grateful for the ones that are sold on it now that are going to go in the future because that's good stuff. So that's all I got today. Bless you guys. Maggie, be safe on your trip. We'll see you when you get back. And that's all I got. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.